What's going on, guys? Army-Firedawg is back again. How have y'all been? But today I actually have a review time for you of the SoundPEATS A2. This is one of their introductory priced Bluetooth headphones. Goes right for around $40 depending on where you search through. But of course I will leave a link to where you can get a pair yourself in the description down below. But without further ado, let's just jump into the review and let's just see what my opinions and what my thoughts of this has been after my about month of having it and putting a lot of time in this headphone. So as always, I like to start with the construction of which, and then I'll work my way down from there. So the construction of the SoundPEATS A2 is about what you'd be expecting of a $40-ish headphone. It's very plasticky. It has plastic is about in its entirety. I don't really see anything except that. And it is on the cheaper side. Now, with that being said, this headphone is extremely lightweight, and I mean extremely lightweight. I want to kind of tie into the comfort area, but for those of you who have normal size ears, not elephant ears like myself, and can fit into these just fine, then you will likely forget you have these on your head. Like if you just turn them off, you'll forget you have them on. Like these are extremely lightweight headphones. Now, as well, you do have several head adjustment sizes. This right here, as you're seeing, is its smallest, and then all the way up to its largest. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of size there, so I really don't think anyone, except for like the smaller kids, would have any issues putting this on their head or finding a comfortable size that works for them. Now, on the right ear cup, you have all of the controls. Everything that is for this headphone functionally wise is on the right side. On the top, you have this button here. It's not noise canceling, but it does have a noise reduction setting in it. Now, me personally, I couldn't really tell much of a difference in noise reduction with this setting being turned on or being turned off. Now, what I did notice, and I'll tie more into this in the sound section, but there is a built-in amplifier that definitely boosts up the bass a good bit. But again, I will touch on that later. Moving down, you have your track forward and volume up function right there. The middle is your play, pause, answer, and hang up. You have your previous track and volume down. And then moving on to the down, you have your micro USB charging port, and interestingly enough, I actually don't see this that often, but your Aux port is on the right side. That is absolutely nothing at all. Just the majority of them are on the left. So this actually kind of caught me off guard when this one was on the right. Now, to finish off with the construction, though these are the cheaper plastic, these can take a good bit of a drop. Now, I have actually knocked these over a few times, and they've not even been so much as scratched as, I know you're not going to see from the video, but these are in still as fine a shape as they are when I got them, minus a couple smudges just from dirt and dust and certain dog hair. But they are very, very durable. As you can see here, now I don't recommend doing this for a long time, but, for those of you with a younger audience, or you're looking for a cheap pair to go on a flight, or you need a pair to satisfy some young ones, you should be pretty good with the SoundPEATS. These are extremely durable headphones. Now, moving on to the comfort aspect of it. The comfort of these, speaking objectively and subjectively, it's okay. Now, for people like myself with very large ears, there is a pressure point because these don't fully encapsulate my ears. It comes very close, but doesn't quite fully do it. So the area around the outer edge, the very outer edge of my ears, does become a bit fatigued, and it kind of gets bothersome after, for me personally, about 30 minutes. Now, the other thing that I think ties into that, and this is going into objective viewpoint of it, is that the padding is very, very basic. As you can, there's no or very little density in these pads. They have a lot of give to them. So the clamping force, which admittedly is not that strong at all, but with the very low density pads, which again is very common with headphones of this price, For me personally, I was only able to get about 30-45 minutes out of it before I started getting discomfort, and then about an hour and a half when I just had to take them off. For those, again, with smaller, normal size ears, you're probably going to get a couple hours out of them before you have the similar results. Still, should be just fine for a flight, or if you just want something to listen to in your lunch break or something. But something to keep in mind. Now, moving on to the sound, and that's what y'all care the most about, I'm sure. So the overall sound of the SoundPEATS is a dark, fun sound. Like, they definitely, did they definitely focus on the bass on these A2s when they were tuning them. The bass on these is incredibly powerful and very, very punchy. I mean, you can physically feel, like when on bass notes that get really, really heavy, you can actually feel that. And I was like, daggone, and these are only $40. So for those of you bass heads, or those of you who like a lot of bass in your headphones, try these out. I think you'll be rather enjoyed. Now, on the flip side of that, like legit 180, the treble is actually not that impressive. It does a fairly good job at getting the detail of the song and kind of nitpicking the smaller, minute things in the song, but it doesn't have any kind of magic into it. For example, like A Moon-Filled Sky, or any of the pieces from Your Lie in April soundtrack. I can't think of the exact name. But it's just, you can hear it, but it never once I was like, man, this is gorgeous to listen to. It's just kind of, I just heard it. It never had any magic to the treble. It's just kind of lackluster in all honesty. It peaked quite early. It didn't have great extension. So the trebles, they definitely biased this on the bass side. Where you meet in the middle, the mids are actually good. I do like the mid-range. They're definitely influenced by the bass. The bass bleed is very present. So for the male vocals, especially for the female vocals, depending on their tonality, you're going to notice them being a bit lower in the tone, or deeper sounding, if I'm using the right term. They just don't sound like how they should sound. They sound just a little bit lower, and that's because the bass bleed is very, very prominent. Instruments like the cello is actually a good example of this. A cello in some instances sounded like a bass because it bled so much into that. Now, in terms of vocals, like the body, other than the bass bleed, getting away from the bass bleed, the body of the vocals, like actually feeling like the snapping your fingers, that skin like feel, actually, if you're actually talking to someone, or if you clap your hands, that kind of that feel sounding. I can't explain how to describe body, but that is actually very good. Very, very good. Especially very good for only being $40. Like when I'm listening to Rag and Bone Man, or Trace Atkins is a really good one. Like that raspiness in his voice just sounds so good on the A2s, and I'm like, dear God, these are awesome. Once you get past, they got the bass bleed, but getting past that, if for those of you who like a darker, fun sound, like a darker bassy sound, and you don't want to have a huge budget, I really think you'll enjoy the A2s. Like, I really enjoyed my time with them. I wish I could have improved the padding density of it, because that's really my biggest complaint, is just the comfort of them. But I think they did a really good job for only $40. And not just me, the people who I let listen to them when I bring them to work, and they try them on, they're like, that's really good for $40. Now, as far as the whole sound, I know I've completely gone in my reverse order of how I always do my reviews, but the soundstage is very small. It does have a small soundstage. So if you're wanting like a concert hall, or if you're listening to a live orchestral performance, it's going to sound very, like, things are going to sound kind of funneled. And this is only on the extreme sense. Like I said, a live orchestra where there's a huge stage and there's several pieces. It'll sound kind of funneled in together because they have all that big space has to squeeze in. So do bear that in mind if you like a lot of live music. So soundstage and imaging. So soundstage, very close. Now imaging, no, when you do listen to these, you're not going to have the greatest imaging. Not once did I have these on my head and I was like, man, I just want to close my eyes and experience this music. No. These are headphones that, for those of you who just want to listen to your music as you transmute to work, for those of you not driving, like on a subway, etc., or on your lunch break and you just want to hear something while you get some homework done, or you just want some background music and don't want to spend a lot of money, I think you'll really enjoy the A2s. So to conclude my thoughts of the SoundPEATS A2 is I think they've done a wonderful job and they've given a lot of performance for their $40-ish asking price. They're very durable, so I don't think if you have to like worry about dropping them or something along that range, these should do you quite well. My only complaint, or my biggest complaint, is its comfort. I really think if you could increase the padding density of these, I really think you could have a very comfortable headphone. That's, in my opinion, the biggest drawback of these is they're not that comfortable, even for normal ear-sized people, for more than probably about an hour, hour and a half. But guys, that is actually it for my review of the SoundPEATS A2. They're inexpensive and introductory priced wireless or wired headphones. If you have any questions or if there's anything I may have missed that you would like me to clarify more, please hit me up in the comments down below. I will absolutely reply to each and every one of you. Now, for those of you who are wondering where I've been for so long, me and Miss Firedawg have finally bought our first house. Granted, we're in the process of buying our first house, and with that comes a lot of expenses, as I'm sure some of you know, and all the headaches and BS that comes with buying a house. Like I said, it's our first one, so we're experiencing this for the first time. So my replies being a couple days delayed is not personal. It is not anything like that. It's just I have had to do so much and try and fetch so many different documents. It's just taken up a lot of my time. But of course, here soon, probably by the end of December, you'll be seeing my Army-Firedawg Product of the Year video in my brand new place. Probably still have boxes everywhere, but hopefully it'll be, and intends to be, our final move, so you won't have to have any more new backgrounds to get used to. But as always, guys, it has truly been a pleasure, and I really enjoy hearing from you, and thank you all for still commenting and, you know, just checking in every now and then. I really do enjoy hearing from you and talking with you guys. I don't care what it's about. You are some of the most coolest people I have the honor of talking to. Whether you give me the honor of subscribing to me or whatever, you guys are just awesome just to talk to. But anyway, guys, I'm getting off. As always, my name is Army-Firedawg. It has truly been a pleasure, and most importantly, and please I ask of you, my friends, stay safe.